Let me ask you something, and I want you to think honestly before you answer. How many glasses of water did you drink yesterday? Not coffee, not juice, not that diet soda you convinced yourself counts as hydration, not your protein shake, plain, pure, actual water. If your answer is fewer than 6, what I'm about to share with you today could be the most important health information you hear all year. And I do not say that lightly. I'm Dr. Michael Adeyemi. I've sat across from thousands of patients. I've held thousands of difficult conversations. And the pattern I keep seeing over and over and over again is this. The things that are quietly destroying the kidneys of older adults are not what people expect. They are not the obvious, well-known villains. They are hiding in plain sight, behind words like healthy, natural, diet, and high protein. And here's what breaks my heart about my job. I watch wonderful, sharp, health-conscious people who are genuinely trying to do right by their bodies, come through my door with kidney function that has already declined dramatically. And when I trace it back, the cause is almost always something they were doing because they thought it was good for them. One of my patients, a retired school teacher named Gloria, came to me about 2 years ago. Sharp woman, active, proud of the healthy changes she'd made over the past decade. She'd cut out red meat. She barely touched the salt shaker. She'd switched to diet drinks to avoid sugar. She was doing everything right. Or so she believed. I ran her labs. Her kidney filtration rate had dropped to a level that put her 1 bad month away from needing dialysis. She was devastated, confused, scared, and she kept asking me, "Doctor, how did this happen? I did everything right." The answer, what we actually found when we dug into her daily routine, I'll share with you at the end of this video. And it is going to surprise you, so stay right here with me. By the time this video is over, you will know the 4 hidden kidney killers lurking in the average kitchen and medicine cabinet. You'll understand exactly how they damage your kidneys, why adults over 60 are dramatically more vulnerable than younger people, and most importantly, what you can actually do to protect yourself starting today. Let's go. Why your kidneys are your body's most underappreciated heroes. Before we unmask these hidden killers, I want to take 2 minutes to help you truly appreciate what your kidneys do. Because once you understand it, you will never look at them the same way again. Your 2 kidneys, each roughly the size of your fist, tucked quietly behind your lower back, process about 200 liters of blood every single day. 200 liters. That is the equivalent of filling a large bathtub with your entire blood supply and filtering it completely. Not once, not twice, but over 50 times in a 24-hour period. While you sleep, while you eat breakfast, while you watch television. They never stop. And filtering blood is just the beginning. Your kidneys regulate the balance of electrolytes, sodium, potassium, phosphorus, that keep your heart beating in exactly the right rhythm. They produce a hormone called erythropoietin that tells your bone marrow to manufacture red blood cells. They activate vitamin D so your bones stay dense and strong. They control your blood pressure with the precision of a master thermostat. They are, without exaggeration, one of the most sophisticated and essential systems in the human body. And they do all of this silently, without complaint, without asking for anything in return. For decades, that loyalty, that silence, is also what makes kidney disease so dangerous. By the time your kidneys give you a clear, undeniable symptom, swollen ankles, crushing fatigue, persistent nausea, mental fog that sleep won't fix, you may have already lost 60 to 70% of their function. 60 to 70% gone before you ever had a warning sign. That is not a typo. That is the clinical reality. Now layer on top of this something most people have never been told. After the age of 40, kidney function naturally declines at a rate of roughly 1% per year. By the time you are 65 or 70, your kidneys are operating with meaningfully less reserve capacity than they had in your 40s. Think of it like the difference between a factory new engine and one with 200,000 miles on it. Both can run, both can perform, but the older one has far less tolerance for bad fuel, rough roads, and being pushed beyond its limits. That is exactly why what I'm about to share matters so much more the older you are, and why this conversation is long overdue. All right. I have identified 4 of the most insidious hidden kidney killers, things that are present in the daily lives of millions of adults over 60 right now. We are going to count down from 4 to 1. Hidden killer number 4 is artificial sweeteners. Yes, I'm talking about the pink packets, The blue packets, the yellow packets, the zero sugar labels, the diet sodas, the sugar-free syrups in your coffee, the light yogurts and the reduced calorie protein bars. The products specifically marketed to older adults managing their blood sugar or trying to lose weight. I completely understand why this feels counterintuitive. We have spent decades being told, correctly, that excess sugar is harmful, and artificial sweeteners were presented to us as the clever solution, the way to have your sweetness and protect your health at the same time. So millions of people made the switch, and many of them, particularly older adults managing diabetes or pre-diabetes, have been loyal to those products for 20, 25, even 30 years. But here is what the accumulating research is beginning to reveal, and what I now discuss with every patient who mentions diet drinks. Artificial sweeteners are not metabolically inert. They do not simply float through your body doing nothing on their way out. Compounds like aspartame, saccharin, and sucralose interact with your gut microbiome in ways that can disrupt insulin sensitivity, which is the exact opposite of what most people are taking them for. And here is the kidney-specific concern that I want you to understand clearly. Many artificial sweeteners are processed and excreted directly through the kidneys. When you consume them in moderate amounts occasionally, that is generally manageable. But when you are drinking 2, 3, 4 diet sodas every single day, as many of my patients do, you are putting your kidney filters on a relentless, daily conveyor belt of chemical processing. A large study that followed thousands of women over 20 years found that those consuming 2 or more artificially sweetened drinks per day had a significantly greater rate of kidney function decline compared to those who avoided them. For aging kidneys already working with reduced reserve, that sustained chemical burden matters. I am not asking you to go back to regular sugar. Absolutely not. What I am asking you to do is rethink the liquid entirely. The single most kidney-protective beverage on this planet is plain water. After that, sparkling water with a squeeze of lemon or a few slices of cucumber. Unsweetened herbal teas, particularly hibiscus tea, which has remarkable evidence for supporting healthy blood pressure. If you genuinely miss sweetness, a small amount of raw honey in warm herbal tea is far gentler on aging kidneys than a daily chemical sweetener habit spanning decades. Make this one shift. Genuinely, deliberately make it. And you are already protecting your kidneys in a meaningful way. Hidden killer number 3 is one that genuinely pains me because it comes from the very best of intentions. And because it is hitting older adults who are doing exactly what the fitness world has been telling them to do. Over the past decade or so, protein has been elevated to almost mythical status in the health and wellness world. And there is real science behind some of that. Adequate protein intake is genuinely critical for older adults. Sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass that accelerates after 60, is a serious medical concern that contributes to falls, frailty, reduced independence, and shorter life expectancy. Protein helps prevent it. I am not here to tell you protein is bad, but there is a point beyond which protein stops being medicine and starts being a burden. And that threshold is much lower than most people realize, especially as the kidneys age. Here is the science, explained the way I'd explain it sitting across from you in my office. When your body breaks down protein, whether from chicken, a protein shake, eggs, or a supplement, it produces nitrogen-containing waste products. The most significant of these is called urea. Your kidney's job is to filter this urea out of your blood and remove it through your urine. They are designed to do this, but they are designed to handle a reasonable, natural amount of protein, not the concentrated industrial quantities that modern supplement culture has normalized. When you consume protein far beyond what your body actually needs, the urea load becomes enormous. Imagine a water treatment plant that is designed to process a certain volume of wastewater per day. Now imagine doubling or tripling the input. The filters cannot keep up. They get overwhelmed. They develop microscopic damage. And over years and years, that damage accumulates into something clinically significant. I had a patient, a 68-year-old retired engineer named Raymond, who was, by almost any external measure, the picture of health. He hit the gym 3 days a week. He had a protein shake every morning. He ate lean meats at every meal and avoided processed foods. He was disciplined, consistent, and proud of how strong he felt. He came in for a routine annual checkup. His creatinine levels, one of our key markers for kidney health, were significantly and unexpectedly elevated. He had no symptoms. He felt fantastic, but his kidneys had been quietly struggling under that protein load for years without ever sending him a single signal he could detect. So what is the right amount? For most healthy older adults, current guidelines generally suggest somewhere between 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. For someone weighing about 75 kilograms, that is roughly 165 pounds, that translates to approximately 60 to 90 grams of protein daily. A single commercial protein shake often contains 25 to 30 grams. Add 2 servings of lean meat, some dairy, and a handful of legumes, and you have very easily exceeded the ideal range for aging kidneys without realizing it. The solution is not to abandon protein. It is to make your protein choices smarter. Prioritize whole food sources: eggs, fish, Greek yogurt, legumes, tofu, which come packaged with water content, fiber, and other nutrients that support rather than burden kidney function. Be thoughtful about powders and supplements. Use them to fill a gap in your diet, not to double your intake. And drink water, which we are coming to very shortly, because adequate hydration is your kidney's primary tool for flushing urea efficiently. If you have any existing kidney concerns or chronic health conditions, please discuss your protein target directly with your doctor before making significant changes. Hidden killer number 2 is the one that surprises my patients more than anything else I tell them. And I mean that. More than salt, more than alcohol, more than red meat. This is the one where I watch the expression on people's faces shift from confident to genuinely unsettled. Hidden killer number 2 is the supplement cabinet. That collection of bottles, capsules, powders, gummies, and herbal preparations that millions of older adults keep, often right there on the kitchen counter next to the fruit bowl or lined up proudly on a shelf, because they represent a genuine commitment to health. People have invested real money, real hope, and real trust into those bottles. Let me say this carefully, because I don't want to sweep everything into one dismissive category. Some supplements have genuine, evidence-based benefit. Omega-3 fatty acids at appropriate doses. Vitamin D for people who are deficient and live in low sunlight climates. Magnesium in the right form. These have science behind them. But, and this is absolutely critical, the supplement industry operates in a largely unregulated space. The word natural on a label is not a safety guarantee. It is a marketing word. And some of the most kidney-damaging substances I have encountered in my clinical career came in beautifully designed bottles with green leaves and sunrises on the front. Let me give you specific examples I want you to remember. Vitamin C in megadoses. Many older adults take 1,000, 1,500, even 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C daily under the belief that more is better for immunity. Here is what most people do not know. When your body metabolizes vitamin C, one of the byproducts produced is oxalate. Oxalate is one of the primary building blocks of kidney stones. High-dose vitamin C supplementation, sustained over months and years, can significantly elevate urinary oxalate levels and dramatically increase kidney stone risk. And kidney stones are not merely painful. They cause direct physical structural damage to kidney tissue every single time they form and pass. Certain herbal preparations. Aristolactic acid, found in some traditional herbal teas and remedies, particularly certain imports from parts of Asia, is one of the most powerfully kidney-toxic natural substances known to medical science. It causes rapid, aggressive, and often irreversible kidney scarring. This is not hypothetical. It has caused kidney failure in documented cases worldwide. Chromium picolinate, commonly taken for blood sugar support, has been associated with kidney damage at higher doses. Certain licorice root preparations, high-dose creatine supplements, and numerous herbal weight loss blends have all appeared in nephrology literature as contributors to kidney injury. Excess calcium supplementation. Calcium is essential, absolutely. But several major studies have found that calcium supplements, particularly calcium carbonate taken in large doses without the cofactors needed to direct it properly, such as magnesium and vitamin K2, can deposit in kidney tissue and blood vessel walls. Over time, this calcification impairs kidney filtration in ways that are very difficult to reverse. I want you to do something I call the supplement audit. Before your next doctor's appointment, whether that is next week or next month, I want you to gather every single bottle from your cabinet, every prescription, every vitamin, every herbal remedy, every protein powder, every sleep aid, every cold remedy. Bring them all. Set them on the table in your appointment. Have a completely honest conversation about what is genuinely necessary, what the correct dose actually is, and whether anything might be placing an undue burden on your kidneys. Most of my healthiest and most vibrant older patients take 3 or 4 well-chosen, evidence-backed supplements, and they get everything else from real food. Simplify. Trust evidence over elegant packaging. Less in this case is very often dramatically more. And now we arrive at hidden killer number 1. The most dangerous, the most widespread, the most overlooked. The one that I promise you, sitting right now wherever you are watching this, you are very likely not thinking about. And the one that explained everything we found when we investigated Gloria's case. Hidden killer number 1 is chronic, silent dehydration. Not the dramatic, acute, emergency room kind of dehydration. Not the dizziness and fainting you might experience after severe heat exposure. I'm talking about something far more insidious. A state of mild, persistent, low-level dehydration that millions of adults over 60 live in every single day of their lives, without a single symptom to alert them, without any discomfort, without any warning, just quietly, steadily, silently damaging their kidneys over months and years. Remember Gloria? The retired school teacher who had done everything right, cut the red meat, avoided the salt shaker, switched to diet drinks, and still came to me with her kidney function in serious decline? When we dug into her actual daily routine, not what she thought she was consuming, but what we carefully tracked, here is what we found. She drank 1 glass of water in the morning with her medications. She had 2 cups of coffee before noon, a diet soda in the afternoon, a glass of orange juice with dinner. By her count, she was drinking fluids continuously throughout the day. She could not understand how she could possibly be dehydrated. But here is what she did not know, and what I need you to understand. Coffee, even the amount she was drinking, functions as a mild diuretic. It tells your kidneys to excrete more fluid than the drink itself actually delivers. The diet soda was contributing to kidney strain in the way we already discussed, and the juice, while containing fluid, also delivered a significant fructose load that the body processes in ways that are not equivalent to plain water. Her actual meaningful water intake, the kind of hydration that serves kidney function, was somewhere around 1.5 glasses per day. For a woman in her late 60s with naturally declining kidney reserve, that is a level of chronic underfueling that adds up to devastating consequences over time. And here is the part that is the real killer. The reason I call this the most dangerous hidden threat of all. She was never thirsty. That is the single most important sentence I will say in this entire video. She was chronically, significantly dehydrated, and she never once felt thirsty. Not in the morning, not in the afternoon, not at any point during the day. Her body simply did not send her that signal. Visual. Diagram showing a young adult brain versus an aging brain, highlighting the diminished thirst response center. This is not unusual. This is biology. As we age, one of the physiological changes that receives almost zero public attention is the progressive blunting of the thirst mechanism. In a healthy young adult, the brain's hypothalamus detects even a 1 to 2% drop in hydration status and fires a powerful, urgent thirst signal. You feel it. You respond to it. In adults over 65, and increasingly more so with each passing decade, that signal becomes muted, delayed, and chronically unreliable. The brain simply does not respond the same way. Older adults can be significantly, clinically, dehydrated and feel completely normal. No dry mouth, no thirst, no discomfort whatsoever. Just quietly depleted kidneys working in crisis mode. So what does chronic dehydration actually do to your kidneys on a mechanical level? Your kidneys require a constant, generous, flowing supply of fluid to filter blood properly. When that incoming volume is too low, when the kidneys are essentially asked to process the same workload with a fraction of the fluid supply, they enter what I describe as concentrated mode. The urine becomes highly concentrated with waste products, minerals, salts, and toxins. Highly concentrated urine dramatically increases the crystallization of minerals into kidney stones. The delicate tubules, the tiny tubes responsible for reabsorbing critical nutrients and excreting precise amounts of waste, become stressed and damaged under the pressure of concentrated processing. And sustained low fluid flow is directly and consistently associated in the research literature with faster progression of chronic kidney disease in patients who have any degree of existing kidney vulnerability. But there is a second layer to this that I want to make sure you really absorb. Think about every other hidden killer we've discussed today. The artificial sweeteners that your kidneys must process and excrete. The urea generated from excess protein that must be flushed out of your blood. The metabolic byproducts of supplements that require kidney filtration. What is the single resource your kidneys need to deal with all of those challenges effectively? Water. Adequate hydration is your kidney's primary defense mechanism against virtually every other insult they face, which means that when you are chronically dehydrated, you are not just damaging your kidneys directly, you are simultaneously multiplying the harm of every other risk factor we've discussed. Dehydration makes the protein problem worse. It makes the supplement burden worse. It makes everything worse. So here is the practical guidance, and I want you to take notes on this part. The general target for most healthy older adults is 6 to 8 cups of plain water per day, roughly 1.5 to 2 liters. However, your individual target must be calibrated to your body weight, activity level, climate, medications, and any existing health conditions. Your doctor can help you set a personalized number. What I tell every single patient who leaves my office is this: do not rely on thirst as your guide. Your thirst alarm has been turned down. It is no longer reliable. You need a system that works independently of how thirsty you feel. Here is the system I recommend, and the one that has worked for hundreds of my patients. Start every morning with a full glass of water before you do anything else. Before your coffee, before your medications, before your breakfast. Place a dedicated water bottle in every room where you regularly spend time. The kitchen, the living room, the bedroom. Tie your water intake to activities you already do consistently. Drink a glass before every meal and before every snack, without exception. If you use a phone or a watch, set gentle reminder alarms at regular intervals throughout the day. Use your urine color as a daily checkpoint. Pale straw yellow means your kidneys are happy. Dark yellow means drink water immediately. Orange or brown means something is wrong, and you need to contact a healthcare provider that day. And for those of you on medications that affect fluid balance, diuretics, certain blood pressure medications, lithium, please have a specific conversation with your doctor about your individual hydration target, because the one-size-fits-all guidance does not apply to you, and getting this right is critical. You have more power than you realize. Let's bring this home, because I want you leaving this video not with anxiety, not with overwhelm, but with clarity and a real, genuine, actionable sense of power over your own kidney health. We have uncovered 4 hidden killers today. 4 things present in the daily lives of the majority of adults over 60 that are quietly, consistently undermining 2 of the most hardworking and irreplaceable organs in the human body. Hidden killer number 4, artificial sweeteners. The diet deception. People made the switch thinking they were protecting their health. Replace the artificially sweetened drinks. Water, sparkling water, herbal tea. Make that shift deliberate and permanent. Hidden killer number 3, the protein trap. A genuine health goal. Maintaining muscle, preventing frailty, taken too far. Prioritize whole food protein sources. Be thoughtful about supplements. Mind your portions. More is not always better for aging kidneys. Hidden killer number 2, the supplement illusion. The dangerous belief that natural equals safe, and that more bottles mean more protection. Do a complete supplement audit with your doctor. Simplify ruthlessly. Trust evidence over marketing. And hidden killer number 1, chronic silent dehydration. The invisible destroyer that amplifies every other risk and operates completely below the radar because the aging body's thirst alarm has been progressively silenced. Drink your water. Schedule it like medication. Do not rely on thirst to tell you when to drink. I want to close with something I tell every patient who sits across from me after a difficult diagnosis, looking scared and wondering if it's too late. The kidneys are remarkable in one very specific, hopeful way. They respond to care. Unlike some organs where damage is largely permanent from day one, the kidneys, given the right conditions, have a meaningful capacity for stabilization and in some cases partial recovery. If this video has genuinely shifted something in how you think about your kidney health, and I hope it has, I want to ask you to do 3 specific things right now before you close this video. First, go drink a glass of water, literally right now. Stand up, walk to the kitchen, and drink a full glass of plain water. Not after the next video. Right now. Today is day 1 of being intentional about the most important and most overlooked aspect of kidney protection. Second, leave a comment below and tell me, which of these 4 hidden killers surprised you the most? Was it the artificial sweeteners, the protein, the supplements, or the silent dehydration that you now realize may have been affecting you without your knowledge? I read every single comment on this channel. Your responses directly shape the topics I research and cover next, and they help other viewers learn from your experience too. Third, share this video with someone you love who is over 60, a parent, a sibling, a neighbor, a friend from your congregation, or your community. You may be sharing information today that literally, genuinely changes the course of their health. That is not a small thing. That is a profound act of care. Hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you never miss a new episode. We release new, evidence-based, practical senior health content. I'm Dr. Michael Adeyemi. I sincerely wish you a long, vibrant, healthy, and energetic life.